Hi, welcome back to the Dylan Rounds case. Welcome if you're currently here in the live chat. Shout out to the people that were present last night in that special little show. It was good of them to appear. As well, shout out to the people with the super chats. And as well, acknowledgement to Kongzilla, who has returned out of nowhere. That's good. As well as another person from the past who I can't remember his or their username, but they had like a magnifying glass in the profile picture. That was a long time viewer, I believe, from the past in the Kenny Veach days. So they showed up, and I think maybe the odd other person did as well. So that's all good. Shout out to Cleo as well for her presence later on after the show. So it's all good. Now, today we're going to be doing another interesting map analysis. We're taking a look at the 24th of May. One day before Dylan came across Chase Venstra. That was the 25th. That was Wednesday. Okay. Thursday was the 26th when Dylan went down to Montello, stayed there following into the 27th. And a day later, Friday, then left, then went to his farm later on in the day. And then at night time, witnesses saw him 11:30 to 11:45 p.m. doing the farm work. Then fast forward into the next day, which is the 28th, which is today. Whatever happened, happened. Okay? There's just a little timeline. I just want to keep that little consistency going when we do refer back to dates and key points. Because obviously, in the midst of all the other confusion and messiness, it's nice to have some consistency, some stability, because if you don't have that, you're lost. It's like lost hope, right? So, yes, we're doing map analysis of Tuesday, right? What's so significant about Tuesday? Well, it's a day where some events took place, supposedly speaking, where Dylan had to go here to get this, to get that. Okay, it's been heard from one person, which has been passed on from hearing it from another person. Not the best of situations, I will acknowledge. We'll get more into the provenance of it shortly, then we'll transition on to the maps. But first of all, what I do want to say is, if you didn't check my earlier video, which was in fact a live video premiere, feel free to check it out after watching this video, let's say. I'll provide a link down below in the pinned comment section. More of an observational video, giving my thoughts, my recollections of a particular individual, okay? And yeah, it's straight to the point. There's a link down below. Feel free to check it out whenever you can or whenever you want, okay? The next thing I want to touch upon is we need to have a look at a brief weather article. You know, we might as well all bring it in together as one, just to set the scene for the area, the environment, just in general, or the theme of this case, okay? Then, now, or the future. It doesn't matter when. If it's to do with Dylan, it's to do with Dylan, okay? If it's to do with the environment searching for Dylan, it's to do with the environment searching for Dylan. We'll get to a little article soon, because I was going to read it out in the last video. Not the last messy one, but the last Dylan Rounds video, but I don't think there was time to do it, so I'll make sure there is time today, or should I say tonight. Okay. Another thing I do want to highlight now, and I will just ask it as a question to you, and you can leave your thoughts, right? If at any point you have channels out there, and let's say the channel got shut down, the channel went dead, went quiet, the channel was exposed, something bad came out of it. What happens to the audience? Do you know? Where would they go? Do they just disperse? Do they fade away as well? Hold their heads in shame? Or do they just latch on to somebody else? That's what I'm interested in. Because we've seen the observational patterns within the community, how when it's gone wrong in some area, or if there's been a bit of a disagreement falling out, they've left, they've moved elsewhere. And then at some point later, they've moved back. But what happens if a channel just completely stopped in activity for whatever reason? And if it was more to do with negative reasons, there was some kind of exposing, there was some kind of downfall of someone, what happens to that audience? Because if you think about it, at the end of the day, just a general situation You're just applying in a general setting. You could have a bad individual, but all the people below that follow are just as bad. I'll give you a very basic example, okay, from how I can interpret things. If you've got gaming, online gaming, and it becomes unfun because of all the tryhards, people playing, exploiting, abusing, overusing certain methods, it's because of a sheep following that look up and support a content creator, streamer, or pro player. And that one at the top uses all these methods and features and then either passes it on to the audience or the audience just copies and follow like sheep. So the person that created the problem in the first place is the problem, but the people that continue the problem and just mold it and spread it, they're just as bad, like cancer. They're all as bad as each other. So if you apply it in terms of YouTube and you apply it in terms of a case or a mystery, and you had a channel that may have done bad things or done dodgy stuff, like actual dodgy stuff, then technically wouldn't the audience be included in that unless they were completely unaware of that stuff? I'm just interested, like, for the future, the long-term areas of where people go. Do people just disappear? Do people fade out? Or do people then latch onto others? Because if you think about it, it's a form of damage control, or at least a form of awareness. And this can apply to other channels out there that may help them, right? If you have people that just suddenly disperse and they're a bit dodgy, they've done a few questionable things, then they'll latch onto something else and think it's all fine, it's all rainbows, it's all colourful. Hey, let's welcome me. Hey, how's it going? It's like, okay, welcome. We are aware you are a knob, a bit of a prick, okay? So keep that awareness in there, just in case they pull any funny ones on you, in case they try and drag you down as well. That's what I'm interested in. Leave your thoughts down below. What do you think happens to other audiences out there? Do they just fade out as well with the channel, or do they leech on to somebody else? Leave your thoughts. And I don't mean temporary, I mean permanently, up to a certain point. Okay, let's move on to the weather news report if it's still available. Okay, so I found it. Here we go. So it's titled Slick Roads in Elko Area, Elko Daily, Elko, Nevada. Okay, so this is not Lucin, Utah, but it's not far away, right? You take in mind the journey. If you were to go to Lucin, it can be impacted along the way due to obstacles you may face, right? And it's just to give that continuation of news coverage and acknowledgement of the area and the surrounding places nearby due to the current weather situations, right? I do find it interesting how they say Candice Cooley herself and Justin will be out there, in case anyone does try trespassing on the land or something, and they're going to be out there all the time. And it's like, well, why are you going to be out there all the time or more frequent now when you could have been back then? Like, what's changed? Do you understand that? It just seemed a little bit weird. Some people, I think, internalized it as some kind of challenge, like, we challenge you to come here, if you dare to. And, I didn't quite see it like that, but I think some of us did. But, more in this article, you see the photo, you can see the highway, it's the Interstate 80 at Deef. I've not looked at that one before, but it says it's slick roads, I guess slippery. There's not too much snow on the roads, but it's the ice that can be a problem, right? You look at the surrounding area, fairly thick snow. You've seen it in Montello, nearby and around there. That's quite bad as well. There's been actual photos of Lucin, though. I mean, to be fair, and we'll have to look back at some point, but the video which Ty Corbin uploaded of going to Lucin Pond, the updated footage, which was good of him to do that, it didn't look snowy there from my memory. I'll have to rewatch the video. If we do need to analyse it, I'll do so. I'll do a poll right now just to see what you guys think. Do you want me to cover a video or some kind of analysis, give my thoughts on the Lucin Pond with the possible usage of Ty Corbin's footage or a little bit of it? Would you like a video focused on that stuff? Leave your thoughts. And yeah, but let's just read what it says here. Elko. Snowy and icy conditions were reported on some roads in Elko area Tuesday morning as another storm system moved through the region. I believe this is last Tuesday, okay? Storm system. I know people were saying that New Zealand, there was a storm or some kind of hurricane. Has it already passed by, or is it still there, still ongoing? I don't know. It says an injury crash was reported at 8:20 a.m. east of Wells. Snow was sticking to portions of Lamoille Highway. The Nevada Department of Transportation reported adverse driving conditions on much of Interstate 80 and on the Jigs and Montello highways. Chains or snow tires were required on the Tuscarora Highway north of Elko. Yeah, I saw like the chains and snow tires when it came to the Heavy D footage when they had that snowed in series or something in recent time in Utah with the extreme snow. It goes on to say the National Weather Service forecast listed mostly cloudy conditions through the rest of the day, but snow was falling in Spring Creek at 9:30 a.m. One of the biggest dangers for drivers in the winter is black ice. It's never wise to attempt driving on black ice, but here are 3 tips that can help you if you find yourself driving on it. I mean, whilst you can apply it to cars and people that drive cars, pedestrians do exist out there. You think about walking on black ice. That's not good. You think, that applies to the UK, right? You look at the ground, it's tarmac. That's black. The ground is already black. Then you get black ice. It's invisible. It's fucking stupid, right? You walk on it, and you're slipping all over the place. People cracking the skulls open, but oh well, is where it is. I mean, it's ridiculous. Even in the past, just going to school, walking through the black ice, it's ridiculous, stupid. And it made it even more ridiculous when the ground was at a slope or at a bit of an angle, or there's a bit of a gradient and you got to walk down that. Ridiculous. So it doesn't just apply to cars, it can apply to people walking, and of course car crashes as described above, but also people falling over, hurting themselves. Any of the Montello locals, have you reported seeing black ice on the roads, or is it not that bad there? Leave your thoughts down below. Let's see what this says here. Highs will remain in the mid-20s and stay below freezing until Saturday. Another chance of snow showers arise for the Washington's birthday holiday on Monday, which I assume tomorrow, depending on your time zone. So that was just a little news article, but it's just to give a bit of an update of the surrounding areas and what it's like, okay? And so here we are now on the maps. It's time to do a map analysis of the 24th of May, the day before Dylan met Chase Venstra for the first time, supposedly speaking, okay? Now, does it really matter this? Yes, because it provides backstory to what Dylan was doing beforehand, right? Is it 100% a fact this happened? No. But once again, like with many other features in this case, there's a lot that can be questioned but also looked into and talked about, right? There's no harm in doing that. Whereas, what about the provenance of this information? Do you want the provenance first, or do you want the backstory of what happened on the day? I think I'll give you the provenance first, as it's a first-time impression, and then you can give your own judgments, your own feelings towards this stuff we're going to talk about shortly. So, this information, heard of, was mentioned supposedly by Taylina, Kurt's daughter. Kurt's daughter Taylina, who heard it from Candice Cooley. So basically, the message has just been passed on and on and on, up to the point of, I guess, us hearing about it, right? From my own knowledge and what I can remember, I don't remember Candice Cooley ever bringing this up, but then again, it might have been just a small bit of talk on it in a past video, or maybe way back in the past, if it was on a different channel I've not looked at. But you share your own thoughts to what you think about it. So 24th of May, we zoom on in. Dylan Rounds went down to Idaho, Burley, to buy some new clothes. Now, does this have any linkage to when Dylan bought seed? Possibly, because not too long ago, and it might have been mentioned way back in the past, but in recent time it was brought up onto my channel as a discussion about Dylan buying seed. And correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm sure we may have come across a bit of that discussion as well in that forum when we were looking back from what was mentioned in the past, right? And we're just trying to juggle it around, trying to come up with some talking points. And it might have been Indiana that said there's possibilities that on a Tuesday, Dylan went to Idaho to get his seed. And I asked the question, what vehicle could he have used to get down there? And some responded with, well, the grain truck, because you're not going to be putting bags of seed or seeds in a standard pickup truck. It's just not practical. You take the grain truck. Okay, fair enough. So with that happening on Tuesday, and with hearing about this, Dylan getting new clothes supposedly on the same day, I mean, looked like there was a bit of a trip out there to get some jobs done, so like tick off the list, right? So what do we need to understand? What do we need to familiarise ourselves with? The possible route Dylan Rounds took, of course, and what the general area looks like and the specific area Dylan Rounds went to, the exact store and shop. And we can look at that very shortly, okay? And the reason why we say this is because if there's CCTV footage in the area, maybe it can be used to show Dylan Rounds how he appeared, how he looked, okay? Just provides another angle, another perspective in this whole case, right? Because we have been lacking CCTV footage. Okay, there's CCTV footage with the odd person of interest at a point in time, doing things elsewhere, but not much CCTV, if not any, of Dylan, unless something shows up. So where would Dylan be first of all, right? Candy's coolly saying Dylan Rounds previous, been doing custom farming for over a month. And then I guess he returned back did he return back a couple of days before he went missing? I'm not quite sure the scenario there. But it looks like he would have been within the area though, down here. Somewhere within the area for, Dylan to be coming across Chase Montello the 25th Tacoma Road in this zone. So I can't do like a direct starting point such as, Dylan woke up in the morning here and then he went down there. Can't do that because I don't have information with that. But in terms of a possible route, if I was under the impression Dylan may have been in Lucin at the time, you see that blue line? Yeah? That blue line is a possible route to get to Burley, Idaho. And it might be one of the quickest ways, possibly. Depends where your starting point is. We have looked at Grouse Creek previous when we were trying to find Don Hately and the possible way he went. We also looked at Grouse Creek when Bob Farrell, even though he can't remember it himself, or the Shack Lady can't remember it herself, when Bob said about Dylan could be at one of the waste disposal places dumped there in Idaho, and that someone could have used this road to get there. And there was talks back in the past where people were saying that Brenner's the type of guy that would probably go up Grouse Creek because it's away from others, it's not down a highway, it's quieter, avoiding police detection, etc., etc. So there's been a fair bit of talk about Grouse Creek, whether it be the area in question. It's a bit mysterious up there, it's a bit quiet, not been talked about much, focused. And then the other discussion is a good way to go if you're trying to lay low, cut through to somewhere. So that's what I'm going to apply here. But Dylan drove up this way, and we can just zoom in slightly. There's no street view footage, unfortunately. I know that blue line's there, but that's not to do with, I put that marker there myself. It's not the Street View blue line, just so you're not confused. So Dylan may have drove up this way in his grain truck. I don't know how much mileage the grain truck can do until it needs to be refilled. You know, that could be yet another thing. I mean, has Candice Cooley mentioned anything about transactions a few days beforehand? I know she mentioned about the 26th, but the significance of that was Dylan's last transactions made, right? That's why that has been focused on. But what about a couple of days beforehand? Was there any transactions? Has anyone heard about that? Because that could tie in and also just simply reinforce what Dylan was doing on the Tuesday. Okay? Just very quickly. Welcome if you've just joined, if you've just hopped on in. We're taking a look at a map analysis, the 24th of May, a few days before Dylan went missing, checking what he was up to, supposedly going down to Burley, Idaho, to buy new seed and get some new clothes, right? The clothes situation, what exactly was he buying? Not quite sure, but we'll see what's available at the shop if we can find it, locate it, and look inside, right? I mean, could it play a part to do with the boots? You never know. I think that might have been one of the talking points, but more about that later. Grouse Creek, see a few pivots as we go past. Buckskin wash as well. Take in mind the markers with the road aren't quite in line, but it was just done very quickly, okay? Do we have much over this way, though? Dry Canyon, the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, we see quite a few of them. We've got Grouse Creek Rodeo. I don't think we need to look at that yet. Jack Hollow, we turn left up this way. Oh, like a valley almost. You see the mountains and the hills. Going this way, possibly Dylan did. Would you have had witnesses in this area? Maybe, if there was farms nearby, people working on the farms at the time. But would they know who Dylan Browns is? Probably not. You start seeing in the distance, the markers do appear. We do first reach Oakley, which was the original talk about Don Hately, though that kind of has faded with time, this possible location to where he's at. You see how many pivots there are. I'll tell you something. In the past, when I was covering Kenny Veach, I came across a patch like this in Nevada. And at first, because I didn't know what it was, I was so confused. Due to the rest of the desert and the terrain being desert terrain, and then having these circles, I was like, is this some kind of glitch on the map? But, yeah, didn't know at the time, but I do now. Got to take in mind that there might be a specific route you can go. Okay, some of it might be private, but as I said, we just did it brief to get to the point. Passing Pella, Ruby, and then Burley. This red outline is a rough outline of what's known as Burley, okay? It's not like a massive place, but it seems quite, there's a high volume. You look nearby. Factory Fitness, Storybook Park, got 2 schools. You got Burley Airport, interesting. Okay, so it seems fairly busy in a way. Enough witnesses, actual homes, neighbourhoods, as you can see. We can do Street View very shortly, of course. Come on, I just want to be able to flip the image. There we go. You got like a main road down the middle, as you see here. And it's further on up where the key marker is to where Dylan Rounds supposedly went to. Okay? It actually goes across a bridge, as you see here. It goes across Snake River. And that Snake River does cover a lot of distance and passes through a fair bit, right? Cross over here. And once we get to this point, where this marker is Cal Ranch Store. I'll have to type it in shortly, just so we can look at possible images. But this is the location Dylan Rounds supposedly bought new clothes from. The question is, what type of clothes? What store? What does the store offer? And do they sell seeds? Because it's all in one place and it's like perfect scenario for Dylan, I guess. So I guess we might as well just get right into it. First of all, let's do Street View. I don't know exactly where you want to go. I think first of all, I just want to take a look down here just to see what the area looks like. Does it look anything like Hazelton, Twin Falls, or is it different? Let's see. Just want to get the idea of the size. I mean, perfect timing. Like, this is perfect. We spawned right next to a gas station called Mr. Gas. Attention, what's that? Unlimited members, employee picking at Mr. I don't know what that is. But what I'm saying is, could Dylan Rounds, during this journey on Tuesday to get a hold of seed and possible clothing, did he refill? Did he get gas from one of these stations? What's your thoughts in the chat? Feel free to give your ideas. Oh, well, hold on. We've got a car wash as well. Interesting. Is it very relevant to this? Not really, but kind of like thinking along the lines of the talks of Dylan Rounds having his vehicle power washed, pressure washed in the past, and Kurt Wadsworth advising him to clean this or cleaner, etc. I mean, it's just a little talking point, that's all it is. But when you got these different resources and things nearby close together, they can be quite handy, right? I mean, I don't know if there's like restrictions or what type, like some vehicles can come here, refill, and maybe specific vehicles can't. They've got to go somewhere special. I'm sure like in the UK, when you get like big trucks, good trucks, they can't just simply park into a petrol station and refill. They've got to go to their own little depots or something to refill, Does that apply to Dylan's grain truck? I'm just thinking to the size of it, because I know Candy's Cooley said it's quite big and it can stick out the entrance of the shed. Yeah. What's inside that truck? A few pallets. And I think there's a homeless guy back there. So all we need to do is just head on straight. And will it take a long time? We'll go so far down, and if it takes too long, I'll just skip ahead. But I just wanted to like show the area to you so you get an idea of what it looks like, what Dylan may have been in the presence of at the time. We've got the payday loans there. We've got another car wash, right? Would you say it's busy? I mean, kinda. What do we have here on the left? Oh, big tyres. Wickle Tyre Pros, truck and AG shop. Now, I'm sure I've heard talks in the past, I don't know if it's to do directly with Dylan or someone else, like past stories, not so relevant to the case of people going to a store or a shop to get things fixed, replaced, Let me know if anything catches a memory for you, because look, this is the thing. In between, we have some very loose talk. Nothing like too full on, nothing too deep, but it might trigger some memory within someone, right? We've got United Oil, Dinosaur, they're coming back. Oh no. Don't know the date of the Street View because it doesn't seem to give it, which is a shame, but it's not the end of the world. Wow. Look at that truck. I mean, to some people, they'll be like, yeah, what's so special about it? Well, not every day you see something like this, depending where you're from. That's a long trailer. That's a very, very long trailer. Wow. Carrying all that hay. Is that going to a farm or leaving a farm? I'm not too sure. Can we get a different angle of it? No, we can't. That's a shame. Yeah, it's turning off left. Well, that's not Dylan's truck. I don't think it is Dylan. Nothing to do with him. Can we look on the inside? No, we can't. That's a shame. I think they blur faces anyway on the maps. Sometimes they don't, though, which is a bit odd. So, yeah, feel free to share your thoughts about this location, possible ideas of Tuesday. Oh, here we go. off-road vehicles. So, if you're not quite familiar with them, these are some of the type of vehicles what you would see in Montello and Luce in Utah, like such as during the search for Dylan. Okay. You see him in Heavy D's videos as well. We've got some cars for sale, I think. That Mustang stands out from the rest. But I don't think Dylan would have been buying a car or needing to buy one. Uh-oh. Not quite right now, but look what we've got here. Oh boy. It's back. It's back. Oh boy. Right, how far away am I? Oh, actually, interesting. We've got tractors. This is John Deere, right? So could Dylan have visited this place? Even though it's not the exact one what we're looking at. John Deere equipment. Little excavator there. I don't know what those... Are they miniature tractors? And then we've got the big tractors. I'm sure Dylan's got one of these at his farm, or he did at one point. You got some trailers as well. Interesting. All green, or mostly green. Yeah. I mean, could Dylan have visited here, just randomly looking about? Maybe if he didn't, he might have done it in the past, right? Just like places of interest in the story of Dylan's life and the story of the dark outcome, right? Trying to piece it all together, because in a location like this, where it seems a bit more developed, there's higher chances of having security cameras, CCTV. And if it was CCTV, it might capture Dylan walking about or driving by. You might be able to capture his facial expressions, his body language. Did he appear calm, excited, nervous, scared? You know, it could reveal a backstory, stuff what we've not heard of before. So that's interesting coming across that. We're reaching the bridge, so we should be getting fairly close now. That's Snake River. As you can see, it's very, very wide for a river, okay? I mean, most rivers I've seen in life have been fairly narrow, but that's wide. Wow. Can we look at on the left-hand side as well? Yeah. I mean, Snake River briefly came up in the discussion during the Idaho 4 case about possible item used in the crime being dumped in the river somewhere. There's been a brief talk about the Snake River, people applying it to Dylan Rounds, where he may have been placed. But to be honest, okay, I don't know how deep Snake River is to begin with. It's wide, but because it's passing through, I think it eventually ends at a reservoir or a dam. So Dylan would be collected there, and then, you know, maybe people would see him, or people would see Dylan floating by. And it's like, where would you dispose of Dylan to begin with? Because it's like a populated area. At least here it is. So you can't just casually park on the side and then pull out someone and dump him in. It just wouldn't work. But you get a good view though. See well into the distance, the mountains. Okay. Seems like a little tour guide, this, if you want to call it that. We're approaching the other side. Oh no, there's McDonald's as well. Oh my God, it's calling me. This place is calling me. You know, we've covered Ogden, we've covered Clinton, we've covered places like that, and it's done the job, but it's gone a bit dry. Wagon wheel produce open. Tomatoes, cucumbers, watermelon, cantaloupe, sweet corn. Okay, wait, is this the place? Cal, yes. Boom, here we are. Cal Ranch, the place Dylan Rounds supposedly visited on the 24th of May, Tuesday. Interesting. Welding, safety, medical. Is that a park? Well, a little bit of one. Let's just see if we can read what is being... Actually, can we actually drive down? Not drive down. We're not actually in a car, are we? Tell me we can turn left. No, I want to go left. Let me go left. Oh, you bastard. Okay. Let's get as close as possible so we can actually read what they sell. Just get an idea. Oh, there's a sign there. What does that one say? Cal Ranch Stores. Federal Area Honda Neutrina. Is that the brands? What do they sell? Plumbing, lawn and garden, ranch supplies, sporting goods. So when they say ranch supplies, can that apply to seeds? Maybe. Anything else? Tools, hardware, automotive, electrical, clothing, and footwear. Nice. That's interesting. If seeds do apply to this area, and if there's anyone in the chat right now, feel free to confirm it if you can, whether you've been to this place or what's listed here does include seeds or grain or whatever, that type of stuff, then it could be an all-in-one journey. That Dylan Rounds went to Grouse Creek up that way through Oakley, Idaho, kept on going north, eventually reaching this place and going to Cal Ranch Stores to not only get maybe grain or seeds for the grain truck and after that, but also clothing, because the clothing is available here. And, you know, if footwear was included, I mean, not guaranteed, but it could apply to those boots being found at the dirt mound. I know Brenner gives a different story, but we can try and talk about that later. So that's good, what we've seen the area. Of course, it would be even better to look inside, and we will try that very soon. Just want to see what's nearby in the area. But, like, the places Dylan is interested in or passionate about, this seems to fit it. Why does it not let me go in the car park? Why does it not want me in there? We'll just see the outside part. Got hay. Hay for horses, maybe. Well, you'd think so. We got these like gates which be used for herding cattle, I guess, and also maybe for bulls, cows, maybe horses, creating some kind of pen enclosure. So stuff what a farmer would need, would want, rancher, right? The reason why I wanted to do like ground level was to see if there was any security cameras, but because we can't get that close, it's hard to see. Not exactly a big place. No second floor. Looks like it's all on one level, ground level. You can see like lights over there. Maybe one of them is CCTV, possibly. Yeah, I'm sure one is on the side. They'd probably need to with this outback part. And then what's that back there? Kingdom Hall, Jehovah's Witness. So we've got a church. And we've got a Salon del Reino. Testicles. Testigos. Same thing. Okay. There's a bit closer on the front. Just want to observe any cameras. Yeah. You probably can't see it, but I can see a CCTV camera. Yeah, I can see it. It's just above one of the name tags, okay? And it's pointing like the car park. If we can get round to the side, I'll try and point it out to you where I see it. It's just above the plumbing sign on that wall. Just above it, there's a camera. And I lightly assume that there's one on the left-hand side of the building underneath the sign clothing and footwear, okay? So it's like on both sides, and I think there'll probably be one near the entrance as well. So if Dylan did come down here, okay, and park up, most likely would have seen his grain truck or whatever vehicle he was using at the time. That would provide context there. go inside of the store, maybe reach out to the people there. Hey, can we look at your CCTV footage? Is it possible? Looking back on this day, this month, and then see what's available. You know, it might reveal, well, it will, if Dylan was there, it will reveal something we've never seen before, right? I mean, people want other context, like we've done the same here, well, like the theme of it, but to do with like Walmart. Can't remember exactly where it was now. It was in Nevada. Was it Wells? Was it Elko? One of them, or another one. And I think Weezer brought it up, or Ellenberg, about Brenner going down to Walmart that time. Hence that whole talk about the receipt. Okay, so we just went down there, looked inside of the store. Wasn't the best amount of photos available, but, you know, you got an idea of what was inside. And then just like looking at the surrounding area too and cameras, right? So I guess we just apply it there to like how we did now, but with Dylan, okay? So I just back out of here for a second because I need to type it in. Okay, so we've got the search history from the day before. There we go. Cow Ranch Stores. We've got a photo, so that's promising. 1 of 20. Yes. There we go. This is what we needed. Look at the car parking spaces. They're kind of like diagonal, bit dodgy. The cameras don't seem to show up this time, which is odd. Huh. Well, actually, one does show up back there. Maybe it's the tents covering it. I don't know. It's like some welcome day or something. They've got balloons. But hopefully we can like check inside. There we go. This is perfect. This is perfect. Yes. Wow. Look at that. That's like the sort of top Dylan would wear, isn't it? That colour. With the stripes on. Yeah, wow. Just feel free to take it all in, okay? Because if it is true from what Taylina said, from passing on from what Candice Cooley said, there is clothing here, yes. And some of it is the type of clothing Dylan Rounds would wear. And because we've got an idea that Dylan Rounds would wear similar clothing over and over again, you know, it can apply on this occasion too. Interesting. Now, if we're just speaking like right now, you've just joined in and you could question, so what? Why does it matter if Dylan bought clothing a few days before he went missing? Because that might be the clothing he was wearing when he went missing. So it provides a context of how he could appear if some random human passed by him, if that was the situation. You want awareness on the appearance of the individual, just like with the details of the individual, the height, the weight, the age, maybe skin colour. And then the same with the clothing. What was he exactly wearing? Because that could stand out, right? And that's something that was missing on some of the missing person posters throughout time. The odd ones did include clothing descriptions, but majority of them did not. I think even on the NamUs missing person database website thing, that failed to include certain details of that as well, such as clothing. And that's a big downfall, that. We've got jeans as well. So that's something what Dylan would wear. Okay. Do you call that a flannel? A flannel top or something? Or is it more hoodie? I keep forgetting, right? But something like this, the colour, the pattern and the design does look like what Dylan would wear. And I'm sure there'll be more clothing further afar. Can I just say something? Why is that person holding a fucking sledgehammer? What the hell? Is that a real person? Or is that like a mannequin? And why would they be holding a sledgehammer above their head? Are they trying to kill a mouse or a rat? I don't know, man. You need to put that down right now. Oh my god, wait, are they boots over there? I think they're cowboy boots. You see those brown things on the shelf in the distance? I really hope we can come across some boots in these photos if possible. But look back there on top of the shelf. There's a pair of boots just under that green top. There's a pair of boots. And like a baseball cap as well nearby. So let me know your thoughts. Could any of this clothing have been bought by Dylan? And like I was saying about the importance of what Dylan may have been wearing due to previously buying it in recent time. The boots situation. Do we move on to clothing immediately or not? Oh no, we've got a black screen. Oh, that's the outside. Well, let's just refer back to this as a talking point just for now. As for the boots, which are back there, if Dylan bought a new pair because his current pair was on the way out, that could explain to why the boots were dumped near the dirt mound or dumped near the grain shed and then Brenner moved them afterwards, right? I mean, Brenner's excuse, we'll call it, that Brenner did not see Dylan for over a month. And that's supposedly because Dylan Rounds was doing custom farming. But Candice Cooley called Brenner out like he was lying about that. But then fast forward to recent time, and Candice Cooley just said that, yeah, Dylan was custom farming in recent time, hence why he wasn't present on site for over a month, and that ties in with what Brenner said about not seeing Dylan for over a month. Do you remember that? I mean, it was kind of random just saying that just then. But that's such a contradiction. Candice Cooley calling Brenner out as a liar back then for saying that he's not seen Dylan for over a month. Then fast forward to just recent time in the latest interview, Candice Cooley acknowledging Brenner for being truthful in what he said about not seeing Dylan, and it tying in line with Dylan actually doing custom farming. What? That doesn't make sense, but that happened. And that's yet another contradiction, switching and change by Candice Cooley I've picked up on the spot. But just put it aside, just the boots themselves. If Dylan left the boots by the grain shed previously, it all depends what time Dylan got back to his actual farm or to the grain shed after the custom farming. If anyone knows the actual date, that'll be appreciated. Like if Dylan returned back on the 23rd, the 20th of May, then he might have been settling back in the area, sorting some stuff out. Just, if you know the date or have a rough idea, make sure to list it down below in the comment section. I'll just say it one more time. Do any of you know when Dylan returned back to his farm before going missing? After completing his recent custom farming, which seed him absent from the area of Lucerne for over a month. List the date down below because that could really tie in line. Because if it's before Brenner involved himself with the boots and Dylan got back before Brenner moved the boots, then that could imply that Dylan put the boots near the grain shed. Then Brenner came across them and then picked them up, hence the DNA prints on them, right? If that really was the case, then it could possibly debunk certain theories and concepts. I'm just saying, okay? Let's just move on with the photos so we don't get too deep or stuck in one area. What do we have down here? Are they like lawn mowers or something, or bikes? Do we have any cameras? Yeah, I think there's one back there, behind that lamppost underneath the footwear. That does look like a camera. Do we get any more photos inside of the store? Hopefully. What do we get next? It's like the anticipation, isn't it? Waiting for the next image to load. Okay, well, yeah, fair enough. This is good. Yes, this is fairly good. Have we seen Dylan Rounds wear gloves? I just can't remember. Did he wear like these typical yellowish gloves? I can't remember. I'm trying to think back to some of his photos when he was younger, like when we've seen the photos posted by Candice Cooley and on the odd news report articles. I mean, you got some belts, cowboy belts on the right-hand side. You got some jeans, so what Dylan could buy, because he often wears them. I mean, they probably have overalls here as well, elsewhere. I think they could be shoes, because they look like shoe boxes back there. Further down that aisle, there appears to be white cowboy hats. Closer by, more like cowboy hats, different colour. And then we've got a wide selection of different gloves, yellow, green, blue, padded, probably some insulated, some with a bit of grip, some resistance, maybe waterproof as well. Called Wells Lamont. Is that from Wells, Nevada? Is that a reference or not? We've got some bins as well, I guess, disposal. They do have sprinklers on the ceiling, and there is a ballpoint CCTV on the other aisle in the background on the roof. So through these different aisles and these cameras probably present nearby, you'd be able to see where Dylan was within the shop and what he was exactly buying. So that would give us a bit of backstory there and understanding. Let's move on to the next image. Okay, we're back outside, unfortunately. Cow Ranch, it's got like a logo of a lasso almost. Okay. So we've got... Oh, this is the women's clothing section. Okay, so it doesn't really apply here. But look, you got cowboy boots, right? Now, I know Dylan doesn't wear cowboy boots when he's doing his work. He just wears standard work-related boots. I understand that. Maybe if Kurt Wadsworth was here, maybe he could get a pink cowgirl outfit and a cowgirl hat. Howdy there, girl. Hey there, baby. I don't know. Interesting. I think some of the men's clothing is on the left-hand side. There seems to be more clothing than other stuff. Interesting. More jeans there. Back here. Okay. Can we have a look at a different area within? No? I mean, at least we're looking at some of the relevant stuff which could apply to Dylan. That's something, I guess. Let me know if you see anything of interest within this place, right? Oh, looks, is that snow? Winter time, possibly? Looks like they've wrapped some of the stuff up outside. Okay. Right, more clothing. Old photo. Tasted the wild. High price canine formula with roasted bison and roasted something. Okay. Do we see any photos of seeds or grain? Possibly. That would help. Apologies about the black backgrounds here and there. It just takes time to load the images. It's kind of annoying. Like, how long does it actually take? Come on, load. Should we just skip the image? Okay. Oh, here we go. This is exactly what I wanted to see. Did that photo ever load up? Oh my God, stupid individual. Erica. Oh, Erica. No, we're not singing the German national anthem. Yeah, Erica, why are you taking photos of black imagery? You know, have you got your hand over the camera? My God, learn photography skills. Glitter Galaxy, don't care if you're cooking right now. Fucking get it right now and teach Erica how to use a camera. Yeah, I don't think she knows how to handle one to begin with. Hold on. Does she even know what the power button is? No? God, lost. Anyway, let's return back on a very serious scale. What you're seeing right now is an aisle of footwear, both cowboy boots and also work boots. Now, I've not seen any photos of Dylan's boots found behind the dirt mound, but what we can see on screen maybe possible boots which may look kind of similar. I don't know. You can give your thoughts, of course, to what you think. Let's just zoom in on the left-hand side. So these are cowboy boots, as you see, that go all the way down. They kind of like preview models, and then you got all the boxes nearby. I know. Let's just acknowledge one more thing. Oh, wow. Right, Tom Evans. You remember when we looked at the dirt mound recently by that Glorin, whoever you call them, that woman, when she went down there that time, which was months ago now. And you remember, Tom Evans, when you said you saw that red box for the first time ever, you've never seen it before. Could that box have been a shoe box, which you suggested? A red box. We've got red boxes here, and we've got work boots nearby. Hopefully people are locking in right now in the chat and, absorbing this, because this is quite important. If you've got a red shoebox, possibly, kind of wedged in the ground, and you have boots literally nearby as well, and then you've got a store like this which has a red box, a couple of them, and work boots, and on top of that, Dylan possibly went here a few days before going missing. There are several possible strong interlocking links, right? Now, that box, what we saw at the dirt mound, right? I know some people said it could have been maybe like a box of beer casings of alcohol or something, but we couldn't quite clear the image up. I couldn't see like a logo or a thing to suggest it was alcohol related, right? But who would dump it there? Would it be Dylan? Is Dylan known for dumping stuff? Well, just a brief little backstory behind that. Supposedly in the past, when Dylan was in the car, I don't know if he was driving or not, but he was in a car with a group of his friends in the past. And we heard about the misinformation of supposedly Dylan being arrested or something by police and friends because they were drunk under the influence, but they weren't. It was just that they were holding alcohol on them. They weren't drinking at the time, but they still got in trouble a little bit. But the reason why they were pulled over in the first place was because they were seen littering, dumping stuff, maybe out of the car, and then drove on, and then someone reported it. So there was a possibility that there's a slight chance of dumping stuff. Then maybe Dylan did that back at the dirt mound nearby. The box, that red box. That's interesting, that. Now, let's do a poll right now. Do you want even if it's a small one, do you want a video maybe of a comparison of some of these boots or boxes nearby and comparing it with the stuff at the dirt mound? Just a bit of a more focused, dedicated video in case people fail to watch this or take it in. Do you want a dedicated video to that? Let me know down below, okay? Because then, if that's the case, then I can do like before and after photos or like, the side-by-side comparisons, because they can come in very handy. We did apply it with the grain shed. You remember that? So is there any other footwear? Well, most of it seems to be on the right-hand side. The cowboy boots are on the left and the work boots are on the right. So we've got some brown shoes here. They are lace-ups, but they look like you can slip them on regardless from the looks of it. You got some black shoes. I think we're looking more into brown shoes, right? And we've got a couple of brown ones here. You look at the tip, the sole, the colour. I mean, this what do you call it? Like the footwell part of the boot. Kind of like the tip area. That colour does look similar to, like photos of like Justin's boots, what he wears, like in that interview on the East Idaho News channel. And then like the older photos of Dylan where he's stood in his overalls and he's got his flannel jacket on or his bits and bobs overalls and he's wearing the brown shoes. They kind of look similar, right? But we've got to take in mind, wasn't it a particular brand of boots though Dylan would only go for? So, if you know the brand of these boots on the side, which I can't quite make out, are these the ones Dylan would be inclined to buy or have bought in the past, or are these the wrong ones? I mean, he could have still been scouting about, you never know. Always a possibility. Okay, back outside. Can we look inside again? Right, so we've got, this is just more cowboy boots, isn't it? I think they're for females because it's the pink and the green, yeah. But then on the other side, you got some more there. I mean, the cowboy boots discussion did take place in the past, and we did actually notice that in recent time, not that long ago, when we were looking back on the forum page and they kept talking about cowboy boots. Would he wear them? Would he not? Is it formal or not? Is it for workwear or not? And, maybe to an extent, certain people will wear certain shoes for a certain job requirement or for however you feel like. For Dylan, it was work boots, okay? Outside again. Okay. Ooh, what do we have here? I mean, could any of this be of use? I mean, if you need it. Well, oh, what do we have down there? What do we have down there? Are they shovels? Big hose? We've got some hose tonight. Maybe a few rakes, axe maybe. And then we've got like rope, thick rope, thin rope, maybe bits of wire. Yeah. Would Dylan be buying rope? Probably not. But if you think about it, when we heard about the rumours or the discussions that Chase Venstra and Robert Aviles supposedly put Dylan Browns in a horse box and they tied him or hanged him, could this have been the rope that may have been used? If that really was the case, where did they get the rope from to begin with? If we were to look in that backstory, I mean, which shop did they go to get a hold of the trailer, to get a hold of the rope, or did they just steal it? Possibility. So this thing, certain items we come across might not be relevant to Dylan, but they might be relevant to somebody else or an event that took place prior to the disappearance or in the process. Got some like hooks, chains or links which attach onto stuff, I think. Okay. Oh, is that it? Oh, that's a shame. It's a shame we didn't see some of like the seeds. Do we have like... I mean, it's mainly clothing from the looks of it. Huh. Oh, yeah. But look, this is the thing. The great thing is we managed to find photos relevant to the stuff that Dylan could buy from there and the type of stuff he would wear. So that's all good. We didn't see any seeds, unfortunately. If you know of any places Dylan could have gone to get a hold of seed, to get a hold of grain, whichever one, have a resource that's needed, feel free to list it down below and we can check a look at that location as well, if need be. Now, we're not finished there, of course. So far, successful video. Feel free to share this video as much as possible to get the discussion point talking, because this is the thing that separates one from others. Whilst others can talk about it and share this information and receive it, which is all good, it's always important to be able to pin it down on a visual level. Whether you can do it boots on ground, that's good. Or if you can do it in alternative outside of the box thinking ways like this, that can help as well. You know, person who's not even from the US can see what's inside of a US store. Sure, anyone can do that, but how many think of doing it? Not as many. So that's all good. Do we have any circular 360-degree shots? Not from the looks of it. Can't see any dots or spots. Oh, well, we do over here, but that's not in the same area. Actually, what is... Let's just randomly click on one. Just want to get an idea. What's inside of this place? Oh, wow. Who's this? Grad Emiliano Zapata. Ole! Okay. We don't really need to look here. Right. Just get rid of some of the text, and I just want to type in something else. Burley, Idaho. Seed. ACH Seeds. Seed supplier. Agricultural service. There we go. Seed supplier. So we've got quite a few of them. I think for the sake of efficiency, we'll just look at one of them and take a look inside and what it's all about. And then you can give your own thoughts of possible names. So let me know if any of these names pop up in your mind, in your memory of Dylan visiting. Okay. We've got Cal Ranch Stores, outdoor sports store. So for seed, that seems to apply to Cal Ranch, which we did take a look at, but we didn't see any photos of seed within, which is a shame. And then it kind of goes off target. Let's just check the first one out. Where's this one at? Wow, so there's a lot of places that doesn't have images. That's a shame. Huh. Any others? Agricultural. There we go. There we go. I mean, how did they fill it up as well? That's the other thing. Like, would Dylan buy the seeds in like a big container, a big bag, several small bags? Or would you have to drive your truck along to an actual place, park it up, and then it would be filled in from the back, the trailer part? How does it exactly work? Oh, is there only one photo? That's annoying. Any more? Animal, well, we don't want animal. Western seeds. No, there's no images there. Garden centre, agricultural. No. Okay, so it's limited for images. That is disappointing, but the main thing is we did locate cow ranch stores. Now, can it trigger any other ideas and concepts? Well, if it does, let me know. I think this is useful. Just make you think, is there any other days in between? So, if we've got the 24th supposedly covered of Dylan doing something, we've got the 25th supposedly covered of Dylan doing something, which was, just zoom in quietly, which was around this area, Tacoma Road, okay, with Chase Venstra. Then we got the 26th, Dylan doing something, his presence being in Montello, following into the 27th, and for whatever reason, returning back to his farm, which I need to rotate the screen for. Down here. Interesting, right? It just feels like we're establishing. Sometimes we're going a bit backwards, other times we're going a bit forwards. We're not doing it in an entirely certain order, but we're filling in the days in between, right? Which is useful. Now, the days which have not been covered yet would be Monday, and any days before that. And then ahead, post Dylan Disappearance, would be the 29th. What happened on the 29th? That's been very quiet that day. 30th of May, family come down. Okay, we've heard that before. And then you transition on to June, and that's when the searches and all that starts kicking off, right? But does anyone know what happened on the 29th of May? Any events? Any key people? Any suspects? Anything to do with Dylan where they may have been at or visiting at the time? Let me know your thoughts. We'll just briefly touch upon it now because I've not really looked at it too much nor have much knowledge of it. But what's been talked about recently, and I think it was mentioned more in the past, but Tom Evans relayed it in the last Dylan Rounds video we did, was that I think it was a couple or two people witnessed seeing a unusual or an unknown truck, let's call it, leaving the grain shed. So that's interesting. And it supposedly happened on Saturday, the day Dylan went missing. Now, of course, it'd be interesting to know who was behind the wheel. That could reveal a lot, of course. Happening on the day Dylan going missing, that could make you think, well, what did that driver see behind that truck? What were they doing there to begin with? And did they see anything whilst they were there, such as Dylan, who obviously was in the area at the time for what he was doing? Did that truck leave because it was going to go somewhere to dispose of Dylan? I don't know. I would say it's more of a rumour because I've not heard it mentioned an extreme amount of times and it's not been challenged that much. Really, I mean, the key point is, if with time there was like a long-standing fact or a long-standing event, an observation that supposedly took place on a certain day, certain time, and it's remained how it is in standard form, and it has been questioned and questioned and questioned, and it's not changed or been altered with, that would, maybe create a bit more, certainty, hope, it's a bit of stability, right? But obviously, for most part of it, most of the talk of locations has been kind of on and off, switching and changing, which has not been helpful at all. But let me know your thoughts of key locations, right? So I think now it's time to relax a little bit. So we've taken it all into mind. Quickly, if you're just joining right now and wondering what's going on, or if you've just joined a couple of minutes beforehand, you want to hear about Dylan Rounds and the deep discussion, feel free to rewind this video back from the start now and watch, okay? But for others, we can continue forwards. Well, we don't need to... Actually, are we in Burley? Yeah, there we go. Let's just go back to this place because for some reason it took me away from it. There we go. Okay, good. As you know, when we were driving, well, kind of driving by, we noticed a few interesting places. One was McDonald's, the other one was KFC, and you know what happens when we come across a new KFC in an area? We got to inspect it, right? How many do we have? We only have one. Wow, how special that is. Oh, we got sewage treatment as well. Oh no, where's the marker gone? It's disappeared. There we go. Let's check the images out of KFC. Because I know there's many people in the chat right now who are very excited to look at this. Look at all the default profiles once again. So that we have here, original recipe. Take home. Yeah. Where is your home? You want to go back home? Okay. No, we don't want these images. I want the dodgy images. What's this? Smoky Mountain barbecue. Honey mustard. Oh my God. Nashville. Goddamn Nashville. I mean, this is a new one in between. Yeah. Georgia Gold. Yeah, Maria. Georgia girl. Yeah, get your honey mustard. You know, a few pickles as well, if that's what you really want. You can even get an ice cream combo. This has got Maria's name written all over it. Of course. But try our new Georgia Gold. Yep. Okay, I want to look inside. I don't care about the outside. Let me in. Let me in, man. Cannot do this no more. Want to get in. Yeah. Oh, God. What's this? The Last Supper. What a disaster. He's got one of everything almost. He's got one useless bread bun, a little drumstick, and a big piece of chicken. Yo, food! That's how we do it in the hood. We're gonna get chicken, we get the full box, we get the full bucket. Yeah, we're gonna do it in the name of KFC. That's what it's all about. We have the dips as well. All the boys are coming over. Yeah, this homeboy is a disaster. This is an embarrassment. It is a bit, isn't it? Yeah, that's not how they do things around there. No. Oh, we got the drive-through. Someone lurking about round the back, huh? Yeah. Try and sneak some food in, I bet. Okay, yeah, great. Oh my God, no one's at the drive-through. This is a disaster. No one's going to give me any food. I'll just sit here like a scarecrow. Disappointing. Be the hero of your next event. Oh, don't worry. Super Raf is already here. Oh, we got some little fries, and we've got Doctor Who as well in the TARDIS. Guess it's like a homegrown taken photo. Not many, is there? No, disappointing quantity. When we try the Wheelby's already ate a few. What do we have here? Live for the fizz. Yeah, doesn't quite apply to everyone. For Stone, it's live for the crack. What else do we have here? Not much. We're not really seeing too much mess, are we? Which I guess is a change for once. Oh, maybe not. Wait, this is odd. This photo was actually in a past one, what we did when I think we were in Clinton or Ogden, Utah. But this time we're in Idaho, and this guy's popped up again. So we're seeing the images reappearing. And I think we saw that guy as well with his Deadpool t-shirt on. He's got the dip by the side. I mean, what's the point taking a photo of, I guess, your friend or some family member and then upload it online? Oh, guy eating chicken. Wow. Round of applause. Not much going on there. It's very quiet, very eerie. Is that it? Wow. That's disappointing. That's actually annoyed me almost. KFC, you have let me down. And because of that, we'll have to do the next worst thing. Little Caesars Pizzas. Oh, yeah. Yeah, where is it? Oh, God, it's on this side of the map. Here we go. Your worst nightmare is back. Yeah, bigger building this time. Bigger buildings, maybe bigger other items. Oh no, we've got a normal pizza. Well, actually, hold on. Who the hell's cut that pizza? The proportions are not great. Look at the little tiny pizza slices for the little kitty cats. And then look at that giant piece with a massive dog in the house. Come on. It's not fair. Ew. What's that? Ew, looks like your scalp. I mean, where's the topping? It's just empty. It's just bad. No. Yeah, bring on the soggy dough rolls, really soggy, moist, and just look odd. You get different shapes and sizes. So if you want it extra long, you can have it. If you want it medium size, you can have it. If you want it short but thick, you can have that. And it does come along with a dip and some white cream or white sauce with some little black dots in it. Are they seeds? I don't know. But yeah, we've got the return of this. This is what it's all about, as you know. Oh my god, I've got a Christmas lights. Is this turning some kind of like heartwarming American movie? Maybe. What's this? 633. Yeah, I'm sorry to disappoint you. The missing 3 does not exist. It's all about the 666. It's taking over, man. Yeah, those 33 will be turning into 6 6s shortly. Yeah, that's what it's all about. Oh, we got the guy with the big nose, of course. What's the point of that offense? You can't read any of it. Caesar's dips, good to know, very, very good. Is that person back there? Okay, you trapped? Oh god, you stuck? Disaster. Bad weather. What's that? Pick up window, caution height. Yeah, that's really high off the ground. Yeah, come on, Wes. I know you say you're about 7'5". Just be careful when you come here. You don't want to be banging your head on that wall. No. Okay, great photo. Instead of walking up to the opening hours like anyone else would, no, you thought you'd take a photo from afar where it's all blurry. Get yourself a Samsung Galaxy S23 with 100 times zoom. Yeah, keep up with it. Anyway, Little Caesars win $15,000. Oh my god, this is the biggest cash prize giveaway known to man. Yeah, is it going to be occurring on a Friday night? Yeah? No, didn't think so. Now, I don't know who's been handling or fingering this box, but look at those prints. Look at the dirty prints. Even the box is a mess. Hate to imagine what it looks like inside. Probably looks like a crime scene. Terrible. Very bad. Hot and ready, crazy comer. Thought you'd never ask. Okay. Can we have any more? Dough made fresh every day. Are you sure? Because I've seen it very soggy and raw. 100% mozzarella, cheese, pepperoni. Oh god, what's happened to that pizza? Ew. What is on it? It's empty. There's nothing on it. It's just a flat piece of land. You can park a car on it because that's smooth. Ew. That's not good. Wait, who was that by anyway? Oh, never mind. Yeah, we got the default photos right at the end. Okay, I see how it is. I mean, there was a few little standout photos, but maybe in general, at this place, Burley, Idaho, standards are a little bit better than other places. Because we've seen some very wacky stuff in the past, as you know, right? And maybe even occurred last night as well. You haven't checked that video out? Yeah. Right, so I think we'll conclude it there. Of course, make sure to leave comments down below, any more discussion points, if you've got any questions, any observations. If you noticed anything in this video, any thoughts, opinions, share it down below. We will see what happens next, but I think today's video was interesting. It provided a different day, different backstory into Dylan, what he may have been up to. As I said, I'm not saying it's 100% a fact, this, but it's what's been talked about, so that's why we cover it, and hence the question mark in the title, of course. And yeah, who knows what will happen next. As for the 17th, which is long gone by now, we've not really heard any updates. I looked on the Find Dylan Rounds Facebook page, no updates there, nothing mentioned. The only other thing that was listed, and we don't need to cover it too much, is basically Doug from No Thanks was sharing another case on the Find Dylan Rounds Facebook page, which, first glance, you could think, why? Why are you on a missing persons community page about a particular missing person, and yet you're driving traffic and attention to your channel about another missing person? But don't worry, the comment section, Candice Cooley approved of it, because supposedly this is what Candice Cooley was talking about recently, I think, in that last interview where she wanted to get the word out about another missing person out there who could still be alive if found now, if found soon, then later, right? So I guess that's what we're talking about in the background recently. But, you know, I can imagine some people will be a bit suspicious. I can imagine some people will be accusing Doug of, oh, you know, getting in favour with the right people so then you can be safe, but then also directing focus with other coverage and content. That's what some people would say, right? But how would I word it? I don't really give my opinion with certain stuff, right? I give observations, but actual opinions. What I would say is, as for how people may side with certain people, suddenly form allegiances or reform allegiances, as we're clearly seeing in the case and community right now, I think it's laughable. It's ridiculous, because at some point it will all crumble, and then at another point it'll reform, and it's like history repeating itself, right? It's silly. That's it. So I think we'll leave it there for now. What will I cover next? I'll check the list, because there's like a couple of different ideas, of course. If there wasn't too much to cover, then I can actually put into focus those video ideas which I suggested in today's video. Make sure you voted early on, and then we'll see how that goes, okay? So goodbye for now. See you next time. Good night and goodbye.